Breathing would give me the time I needed to study you closer, to really look at you, and allowing the audience to see inside of me. Hi, I'm Giancarlo Esposito, and I'm here for DOLCE Magazine. Can't wait for you to see me. Can't wait to see it.
You get your choice. What do you want to start fresh?
Oh, no, this is good.
That's good.
Wow, you even prepped some, huh?
Nice. So I heard you joined the Marvel's universe?
I did. I can't talk about it.
I know you can't. I know it's not even worth trying.
Don't even try. My mother was performing in Rome, and she started in Naples at San Carlo Opera, where she met my father. My earliest memories were being taken to that theater when I was very, very young, probably a year, 2 years old, seeing that beautiful space and feeling that energy. When I went back last July, I walked in and they said the theater was closed. So I was with two other folks who were talking to the gentleman, and I snuck in and I stood there and cried. New York was an exciting place because of my curiosity. And because I was interested in the theater, my mother was still performing a bit, I didn't really have an outlet for my own performing until I decided I wanted to sing, and I went and auditioned for a Broadway show, sang Happy Birthday, and I did my first Broadway show in 1967, and then my world changed. Because I was actually performing in this great metropolis city where Broadway at that time was such a popular musical comedy outlet for so many people, and I felt like I had an effect on other people in a way.
1, 2, and 3.
Just a backseat driver flying undercover.
My mother was a singer, an opera singer, so of course she wanted me to be an opera singer. So I was learning arias and learning, songs when I was very young. So Paul Robeson was a big influence on me. He was a great, great singer and an African American. I remember doing a play called Lost in the Stars with Brock Peters, a great actor, but a great voice as well. I remember listening to Mario Lanza, and I always wondered how could I ever reach the high notes of Enrico Caruso. So I was gearing to go into opera, but my opportunity came on the Broadway stage, and my life changed in many different directions from musical comedy because I wanted to be a dramatic actor eventually, and that's what I pursued.
Oh, that's great. Awesome.
Military school came about because my mother couldn't handle my brother and I at our ages because we were a little bit extra because we were boys and we had a lot of testosterone, and she was in the middle of a divorce. So she shipped us off to military school to have structure. And in that military school, a lot of things happened to me. One thing was I got structure, I got the sense of belonging to a group of people, but I also wanted out of there because it was oppressive. I started my relationship with God. I became an altar boy. So it got me out of that dorm room with 100 people and 100 bunks. I got up, put corners on my bed, I showered, and I went right to the chapel. And I thought, oh, I'll become a priest, until I started witnessing all of what priests do. I changed my trajectory again. The one thing I kept from that was my relationship to spirituality and to God and to a sense of myself. But yes, I learned how to be exacting in military school. I learned how to march. I learned how to stand for hours. I learned how to do my own laundry, tie my own shoes, tie my own bow tie. I learned manners, how to be a mannerly human being. Spike's an innovator because he had a great idea and he wanted to do something that was impactful, because he really digs down deep to show you what the world is like for some people. In his case, and Do the Right Thing, it's for, you know, Brooklyn and African Americans during a time of great upheaval. So it felt as if we were having our moment in time to have an opportunity to change the world by making this movie. He used to joke with me and say, we have a revolution, what side are you going to choose? The Italian, or, you know, or the black side? What side are you going to choose? I went to an all-Italian and African-American high school in Elmsford, New York, and I wasn't accepted by the Italians or the blacks. My best friends became the Jews because they didn't care. I remember Ronnie Carbone stopping me in the hallway, calling me a nigger, pushing me up against the wall, and before I was about to cry, I said, I want to tell you something. I'm more Italian than you are. My name is Giancarlo Giuseppe Alessandro Esposito. What's your name? Ronnie Carbone. You don't even know how to say it. Yeah, so that was my defense, that I somehow was more connected to my culture than many in that particular place that didn't want to accept me. Some things happened to me where I had decided that if I wasn't going to survive my divorce and my bankruptcy, that at least they could. So I just thought, if I found someone to take my life, then I had my insurance that would go to my kids and they would survive and have a good life. My former wife's family was in insurance, so I was insured for a lot of money. I realized that I had to do it for me somehow. And I never wanted to be without my children. But what kept me alive and kept me whole was the idea that my intention has always been good. You know, I believed in myself. I have talent, and I'm gonna come through. Okay, are you ready? Are you ready? Are you ready? The antithesis of a hero is a fallen hero. I like to look at my villains as being real human beings who somewhere along the line go off track and they commit to a life of villainy, so that you're able to see both sides within them. Because otherwise I feel like they would just be stereotypical. So if you're able to see, even without words, behind my eyes, that there used to be a light on that's now dead because of some kind of past trauma, maybe? Trauma changes our lives, especially trauma we can't talk about. And I know for me, it took a lot of years to understand that I was carrying this angry black man, angry black and Italian man inside of me. It wasn't until close to my father's death that I realized that he was an angry Italian man, because he wasn't accepted in America. His name was Giovanni. He changed his name to Johnny Expo. Giovanni Esposito becomes Johnny Expo because he wanted to fit in. And he came into the union in New York as a stagehand. They were all Irish. They looked at Italian like, pfft. But he wanted to fit in, so he changed his name to fit in. So I started to see the bigger picture of how to understand who I am and where I belong. So there are no bad guys. There are no real good guys either. There's the choice that you make as a human being to be who you are or to be something other. In Breaking Bad, I realized that I didn't wish to change the dialogue because the dialogue was perfect. How could I measure myself? How could I measure the timing? And it came to me to breathe. Breathing would give me the time I needed to study you closer, to really look at you, to really take you in, to really show you in my eyes whether I love you or whether I have disdain for you. It's a timing and a rhythm and allowing the audience to see inside of me. And that's how I use my yoga practice, because I realized the only way to time my being is to breathe, is to leave space. It's uncomfortable, right? You can hear space. We're not used to hearing space. But if you leave space, you become truer to your own organic rhythm. And so I use my practice every day in Breaking Bad. Didn't say too many words without taking a deep breath and allowing myself just to be, so you could really see me as Gustavo.
Look down at it again.
It's living in the truth of who I am and not being afraid to allow people to know that I'm fun. You know, many people know me as Gus Fring or some villainous character. I remind myself, don't wait to be great. It's never too late to tell the truth. Be who you are, love yourself. That to me is living the good life. I love food, I love fine cuisine. So much of me has waited so long to enjoy life. But why? Why? I deserve to enjoy life. I deserve the best. So la dolce vita, baby.
We actually have a special gift for you. So this is a tailor in Toronto. Per Louis is the name of the store.
Per Louis?
And he did something special for you.
Oh my goodness. Come on now. What?
And I think you want to
This is beautiful. Oh my goodness. Oh, this is so beautiful. Grazie mille per Louis, Tony, Sandy, and the whole team. This is beautiful. You do incredible work. Look at this thread. Touch it, feel it, touch it, feel it. It's beautiful. I will come and see you soon, baby.